I started coach training because I wanted a new skill set. And the reason I wanted a new skill set is because I transitioned into a new role in my company, R3. It was a new team entirely. I had no relationships with those teams. And this happened during COVID time. So I couldn't fly, I couldn't make new relationships very easily. So managing the team, inspiring the team was exceptionally hard, at least for me in those times. So I really needed a new skill. Yeah, so I think the first thing I would say, which has been exceptionally beneficial, is the ability to listen. So I benefited a lot from being a better leader by being a better listener. I think the second thing which I learned from coach training was the growth mindset which we have for clients. And I put that growth mindset for my employees and my team. And essentially, really what that meant for me is I look at their growth as one of my priorities. And I look at them as something who I would love to develop and support their career growth. So really, I think that those are the two big ones in my mind, which really changed the way I view my job as a manager, as a leader, in regards to the people I lead and manage. So I chose Bailey Balfour first primarily because I got a referral from my coach, who you know well. So that was a good signal. But I also looked at other things. One of the key things for me was to have somebody who was an experienced coach. You are one, and the cohort of other teachers is equally accomplished in their own right. I've done this for many years. So I looked at that. I was attracted to the small class sizes as well. I think that helps form relationships with not just you, but also with the peers I had. And I think the timing worked well. It was evening classes. Of course, it's tough after a day's worth of work, but still it was manageable. It was not like much longer classes, which then becomes very hard to pay attention to or keep focus. So the 3-hour format, which is partly like presentation, but partly also very interactive, I think was appealing. So I think a combination of all that led me to Bailey Balfour. And I'm glad I did it. So I think for me, there are two things. I, of course, came to learn. And my surprise learning experience was I am walking away with friends. And it's something I didn't imagine walking in. I thought it's just a classroom. I'll interact with others, but I'll not necessarily form new relationships in a deep way. But that has been a surprise. I've formed quite a few deep relationships. We keep in touch. We of course talk about our coaching journeys, but we do other conversations and social events as well. So that was one. I think the other surprise element for me was the degree of learning I got from mentor coaching sessions. I think, of course, practicing with an experienced coach, but also with peer coaches who are reviewing you, really sharpens us as a coach. So I think that was really helpful. So those were things I didn't know I was going to take away, but it's amazing that I am. So the impact it has on my wider life is, firstly, I have found a new passion which I can devote my rest of my entire life on. So this is one thing which I will never give up. And that's really powerful. I'm in my mid-40s. I have the second half of my career and my life coming ahead of me. And I found this amazing passion, and I genuinely enjoy the coaching and relating to people, understanding what they are going through, and then helping them in their journey. So just finding this new passion was, I would say, one of the best takeaways I could have had. And I've surely not paid you enough for what I've got in that sense. But the second thing which I also got on the personal side is really becoming a better listener, both in my marriage, but also in other relationships with friends, my mother, my brother, people who matter to me, right? So I think that's really powerful. I think we talk too much otherwise. I'm guilty of that. So I think those are the two big things. So thank you for what you have enabled and what you have given the platform for all of us, I believe. So my current coaching practice involves, firstly, some pro bono coaching. So I coach with a charity organization in India. They help underprivileged children from the age of 4 till the age of 18, provide education as well as other support. And I coach alumni from that organization who are just walking into the professional world, right? So I think that's something I feel great to have that opportunity to do so. I have a few private clients, as you can imagine. Of course, I do not have a whole lot of time with my current job, but so little time I get, I devote to a few private clients, primarily in the technology sector, in the senior leadership group of technology companies. So for example, I'm coaching a CEO of a Series A startup, another head of Asia for a fintech accelerator, and so on. Right. And then in the future, if and when I have more time, I plan to work with a few platforms as well to see how that experience might be. There are many highlights of the training experience, so maybe you'll allow me to add more than one. So I think, as I said earlier, just getting started on coaching and getting started was the highlight for me. And often enough, we are stuck in not getting started and questioning ourselves. And many of our clients are in the same boat with whatever they are thinking. Getting started and finding this passion was one of the highlights. I think the other highlight for me was making friends. The third highlight for me was there is really joy in learning. And there is so many new areas of learning which you and the other facilitators and teachers have opened my eyes to, that I'm excited just to learn about so many things which I'm barely scratching the surface right now. So in some sense, coaching has opened this learning journey for me, which is probably going to keep me very busy and very happy for the rest of my life, because that's honestly, there's no end to this in some sense. It's I can keep going, which is great. I believe that other people should get a coaching certification because really I think it forces or it trains our muscles to listen better. I think that's a big skill in every domain of life, not just in the professional world. I think it urges us to focus on our teams and employees, especially in a leadership context, with a growth mindset and helping them grow. And what does that mean? I would say it also teaches us to focus on the person and not just the situation. That's what I learned definitely in the course. And I would say that has helped me connect with people a lot more deeply. And then it gives us tools to explore, whether you're exploring a person or whether you're exploring a situation. It gives you the tools really to do a good job going deeper and exploring so that you understand first before you assume and already start to answer, which as leaders especially we are guilty of, right? We think we know everything. We try to just give answers to our teams, our employees. So I would say those are the four big ones for me, why everybody should get a coach training. Every leader especially should get a coach training.